Ah, I am
Dude,
tired.
dude, same here, dude. I had to work in 100-degree weather all day today. Oh God. Ugh.
I accidentally fell asleep for like a
hmm
lot longer than I wanted to, but I'm
hmm
here.
I
You
feel
know how
it.
many people? You know how many people wish they could say that they could accidentally sleep?
Well, I was
During the
out all
day.
day,
Accidentally
so
oversleep the
Yeah.
whole
I
fucking.
mean, I was out all day, so yeah.
hmm Gotcha.
But at least I got the sewing machine.
Oh, there you go. Hey,
Yeah, I need to sew my
focus on the
cosplays before my
fo-
con.
focus on the accomplishments of the day. Rather than the hassles.
Yeah, I also got my ID, my updated ID in the mail, which is cool.
Yay. You know.
So now I
Uh,
can go do things.
there you go, audience. You learn something new every day.
Yep.
Small victories, guys.
hmm
And I did it while my face was completely painted. It was cool.
Multitasking, audience. Multitasking. You know. To do.
Hmm.
Oh,
Something I wish I could do. Fuck. Fuck.
and I wish I could do that too. Will make my
Hardcore,
life
do you
so
have a
much
Twitter
easier.
account?
No, I deleted X because
Mhm.
fuck Elon Musk.
That's valid,
well,
honestly.
But
yeah.
I
Well,
do have Instagram,
hmm
Blue
Yes, I am
Sky.
well, I,
aware of the. We
well,
will
Jake.
get into that in a second. I just wanted to know if you had
Well,
Twitter.
hardcore. I could one up that because I'm super hardcore that I don't even have an X account.
Yeah,
Ah,
you're not missing out on much unless you want to deal
yeah,
with it.
yeah.
So.
Never once had it. So
Yeah, nah, I'm not ever hopping back on that platform. Hell no.
yeah, well,
Valid.
uh, yeah. Dang it. I say that even though like I did set up a X account, but for our channel sakes. So yeah. But
I
I don't
mean,
have a
you're
personal one.
technically on the comic fanatic one, but
Yeah. Stuff we gotta do to promote a channel, right, audience? Do. So, all right then. With that, you guys just want to get started now that the giggles are out of the way?
Yeah, let's
yeah.
Okay.
start it.
All right. Well, welcome to Comic Fanatic Live. You're here with me, Cryptid Seeker 415. I forgot my intro, so that's my intro for tonight,
God
audience.
damn it, Cryptid Seeker.
Hey, I had to work in 100-degree weather today, Wedge. Cut me some slack,
I'm
okay?
surprised it wasn't even that hot today, but not important. Anyways, I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim. Pronouns they, he, because that has not changed. And small victories, guys. Celebrate your small victories when you can. But guess what, besties? Since Jake and Austin are temporarily dead, I brought someone from my archives with me.
Yay.
So if you would like to
Right.
introduce yourself in a similar way that me and Cryptid did hardcore, that would be lovely.
Hello, I am the hardcore daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I I don't know. I am just a fucking comic book nerd. Uh,
Yay.
yeah. Hello. Hi.
That's fair.
There you go. And together, we are the Fanatics, here to bring you the news and reviews of the week, audience. And in this episode, we're here to bring you the reviews. We have some Doom Division content going on. We have some Christopher Chaos, some
We're back,
Spider Girl,
baby.
some Spider Girl, some Gwenpool, and a lot more. So stay with us as we talk about them. But before that, we have a thing called socials, don't we, Witch?
We do, Cryptid, we do. And in my less sleepier state, because I accidentally fell asleep, not important. Yeah, first of all, you can follow us on. You can subscribe to us here because if you don't subscribe, then you won't get something cool later. Unfortunately, that was the deal. If you guys don't subscribe and get us to 100 subscribbles, then
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to tell you, Dusty.
If you
Like,
don't
Mm-hmm.
get this channel to 100
Well,
subscribers, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
exactly.
Stop being a bum. Come on.
yep,
You're gonna get
yep.
something really cool if
We
you
got
do.
we needed some screwables to rebuild our buddy Austin after all, our brick wall, you
Yeah,
know?
he's like, please, I don't want to be a brick wall anymore. I want to be a brick man.
So they brought out ass on here. So
hmm
But you can also follow us on our Twitter account because I'm not calling it X. You're gonna have to take that out of my cold, dead body. Colder, dead body. Anyways,
Yep.
you can follow us on Comic Phanatcs 69. I wonder who created that username. Totally wasn't me or anything. And remember, that's with a PH. Anyways, if you don't want to follow the whole squad, and you just want to follow me because you like my nasally ass voice and my weird ass interests, you can follow me on my Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch whenever I decide to go live on Twitch, which is rare at this point, at witch_of_Jotunheim. It should, all should be in the description when we get that done. You can also find me on Blue Sky and Tumblr at Northstar Aria. I've been posting a lot on TikTok and also Tumblr, so go to my Tumblr, interact with me there. Yeah. You can also find me on rednote/Xiaohongshu at Witch of Jotun, and if you want to support me financially or hit me up for a commission, I have a Ko-Fi at Witch of Jotunheim. And Hardcore, if you want to talk about your socials for a bit so that the lovely audience can know where to find you later.
You can find me pretty much anywhere and everywhere. I am on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Xiaohongshu, Lemonade. It is all the same. It is the hardcore daddy. It ain't really that hard.
Gotcha. Well, with that, audience, let's get to the books of the week. So, which start us off, dude.
Hold on, my light doesn't want to work. Give me a second.
Start off with some peak.
I know this book's so peak, man.
Start off with some chaos.
Christopher Chaos.
The minute you see these names on here, especially James Tynion, you know it's gonna be fucking good.
Oh yeah, I met James Tynion at San Diego Comic-Con last year, so it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, but I was able to pick up the first issue of The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos, Children of the Night, which is a limited series, unfortunately.
What is it, a 5-issue mini?
I think so. I don't remember. I don't know.
Nah.
But we got to see my husband Adam on the cover, guys, which stay tuned for that cosplay. That cosplay's coming up. Wink.
Yeah.
Anyways, so basically we start off with this little kid who has like those hats with the little propellers on it. Yeah. Yeah, this is how serious the book is right now, man. It's insane. He's just like walking in the city as one does, with his stupid little ice cream. And he hears like some shuffling in the alleyway, which is like, why would you stop? That's weird. Stranger danger. He's like, he hears like a voice being like, damn thing, I can't find him. And the kid's like, hello? Like, is anyone there? And like, I didn't post a picture. I think I should have posted that picture, but like, you can see the kids like looking up and like, with like the biggest like open gaped mouth. And we see this really weird disheveled guy with a very similar brooch to another one of these characters. And he's like, Frankenstein, where is he? Adam Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And he's like, he looks out and he's like, I gotta go. And like Sonic style, he's like running. Your boy's running. We don't know who this guy is, but he must know who Adam is, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
kind of hard to forget about Adam,
Yeah, he's like a 7-foot tall man who wears a green cloak, and he walks around going to the local bodega to get like whatever he gets. He also has a bunch of stitches on him. I don't know what you want for me to say.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
We cut to someone scribbling really fast, and it's everyone's favorite blue hair and pronouns autistic kid, Christopher Chaos. I don't know if he's autistic, but I know he definitely has blue hair and probably pronouns. If no one understands where that joke is from, then this joke is not funny. But if you understand where the joke is from, then it's funny. You get me?
Yeah.
Perfection. Anyway, so he's scribbling down, like his life depends on it. And he's a class, And the teacher's like, Christopher, like, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but all I need is your name for attendance. keep in mind he has this thing where he like scribbles out formulas and shit, you know, because he's like that. But guess what? Bring, you know, the bell goes off and all the students go, you know, and all this other stuff. He passes by some of his friends passing by, you know, it's great. He's stopped by the teacher, and he's like, "Hey, can you just like stay back a moment, just like a couple minutes?" And Christopher's like, "If this is about attendance, like I'm sorry about that." And he's like, "Who gives a crap about that? Like, we're 1 month into the school year, and like I think we need to adjust a month, like the elephant in the room, you know." And he's like, "You're the smartest kid I've ever met, but your grades are already slipping. My teacher said that, like, all your work is covered in equations. Like, get it. I do get it. Trust. You know? Like, you're bored, that brain wants to escape and all this other stuff. But, like, keep in mind, if you want to graduate early, you gotta get the good grades, you know? It's
there
like,
you go.
And all this other stuff. And Christopher is like, yeah, I'll be better. I'm sorry. And the teacher's like, no. Don't do that either. Never apologize for who you are. See, he's an ally to autistic kids. Poor autistic kids. They need it more than anything. Anyway, so we cut over to, you know, Christopher and the rest of the Monster Club throughout their day. And remember that picture I told you to put for the thumbnail?
Yeah.
Can you put that picture that I told you to post in the thumbnail? Hell yeah.
There you go.
Look at my little scrunkly.
Dude, that's someone's avatar pic right there, man. You know?
That was dead ass. Like that was almost my profile pic on Twitter. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. No.
Like, I'm just saying, if I got a good pic of Adam, then that would have been my profile pic. But I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. Adam does not appear in this book. In this issue specifically, which disappoints me because I love him.
Wait, this is supposed to be in issue 1, right?
Yes.
Man, that's kind of weird.
Well, they do explain why he's not here.
Okay.
Anyway, so Christopher's like, together we're the Monster Club. You know, the monster kind's only hope against the forces that want us dead or worse. And so he's like, oh, there's like a one final member, and he leaves the squad and he goes to his garage, which, if you remember from the main book, his mom kind of like barricaded that off from him after an experiment gone wrong. How the fuck he got access and built like a whole ass bunker is beyond me.
Dang.
Maybe he got special permission. Who fucking knows, man? I don't get paid enough to care. I don't even get paid enough to do this. I do this out of my own free will. Anyways, so he's like, guess what time it is? Mom's at work. It is chaos time. Anyways, so they do a little rewind thing. He's like, wait a minute, let me rewind. And so we cut to him running away with Peggy, who, if you don't know who Peggy is, she is the reanimated corpse of a pigeon. That was Christopher's like first ever like successful like resurrection, I guess you could say, because he, out of everyone in the Monster Club, he's basically like the mad scientist allegory character. Because, you know, you got the vampire, you got the werewolves who are ginger for some reason. Don't ask. And then we have the witch character in Viv, even though she's like fully human, but she has like spirit cats. Anyways, so you know, all the others are talking about Christopher's running, and Viv is like, "What's an update? He's still not talking to Adam." And Jordy, I don't think I ever pronounced your name properly. If I meet anyone from the team, I'm gonna be like, "How do you pronounce his name?" Like, if I meet any of them this year, I have to ask that question. It's very important to me that I ask.
There you go.
Something and so he's like, and he's like, can't even say Mary or Shelley around him. Like, not that you would. So, yeah, he still has some, like, iffy feelings about Adam after the events of issue 15 of Christopher Chaos, the original series. So, yeah. Anyways, so we cut to a public restroom, right? You know those ones that you would find at parks that are kind of like separate from everything? It's not attached to anything. You know those?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those. And we see a girl being like, you know, she's like, oh my god, please, please, oh god, you know, like all this other stuff, and all that stuff. And guess what? It was lesbian werewolf sex in a public
There you go.
restroom, and it was 10 times bloodier because of how the werewolves transform.
This is the last. Hey, this is the last week of June after all, audience. That we're doing a video, so
It's like the last official week of June, yeah.
yeah.
Anyways,
It is. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you know, they're doing their thing, you know, and so like before Sasha, who's one of the werewolf twins, because there's two of them, there's Sasha and Luca. One's kind of a dumbass, and the other one's a little less of a dumbass, but it's fine. We love them. We love our ginger werewolves in this house. Anyways, so yeah, so she leaves after this little event, and guess what? We see a green cat looking at them, you know, like obviously out of sight to them for the most part. And so we cut to Viv in her bedroom. That, you know, she has a pretty cool bedroom, and she's like, I fucking knew it that I can't trust her. I fucking knew it. Remember that sob story? Yeah? I fucking remember. Oh, boo-hoo. We don't know any other werewolves, my ass. Anyway, she's like, bitch, get fucked. You got a whole-ass lesbian werewolf girlfriend. Lucky bastard. Anyways, she gets a call on her phone, as one does. And she's like, hello? Like, everything's fine. Like, I'm alive, aren't I? Basically she was talking to her dad and everything, because her parents are out of country, if I can remember. They're not in the same house as Viv. That's all I gotta say, if you didn't know. Anyways, so we cut to Yuri in the gym, because, you know, he has to overcompensate after coming out to his parents as a vampire. His parents already knew that he's trans. I need to preface that. His parents already knew that he's trans. They didn't know he was a vampire.
Well, they know now.
They know now, because he literally barged into his own home, charring up a little bit because of the sunlight.
God dang.
They were gonna find out eventually, but guess what? Yuri was struggling a little bit, but guess who pulls up? Luca pulls up, and he's like, hey, respect the grind, but I think you should use a spotter, bestie. Like, we don't want this to be Final Destination up in here. You know? And so, like, Yuri sits up, and he's like, I don't need your help, Luca. And all this other stuff. And he's like, bet, but, like, you kind of did, though. Like, you can spot me now, right? And Yuri's like, yeah, that's not my style, bro. And so he leaves. Because why not? Can you switch to the next picture?
Oh, wait.
The one with the orange, with the fire and...
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that one. Anyways, so the twins are talking to their mom, who is like the leader of the wolf pack, you know, as one does, and everything. And reminds them of like what their actual plan is. That I'm not getting into. Go read Christopher Chaos, bitch. If you're not reading Christopher Chaos, what are you doing? I'll send you the links, bestie. I can send you the links, no problem. Anyways, so she reminds him of the plan, and Sasha's like, yeah, cool, whatever you want, Mom. And so her mom is like, and Sasha, my love, and I'm gonna repeat what she says. Okay, word verbatim. She's like, I smell that low-bred whore on you from here. Take another shower. Scrub her off. Do not let me ever smell that scent again. Which is like, wow. That's wild.
Wow, that is fucked up.
It is kind of fucked up. But
that is fucked up.
It is pretty fucked up. She's like, I have a family. I have like a whole thing that I gotta run. Okay, do not fuck this up for me just because you wanted to fuck humans. Okay? It's like, calm down, bitch. It's fine. It's fine. You'll live.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's fucking crazy work.
Yeah, like that was basically verbatim. Anyway, so we cut to the actual we cut to the Christopher Chaos household, and we see some buzzing, we see some tinking, all this other stuff down in the basement, right?
Yeah.
And we see Christopher working on his craft, and they're like, I just call myself Matt, it's all good. And so he's like working on like some mechanic stuff. He has some monster comics, which is what I have right here.
There you go.
Anyway, he's like he turns to Peggy and he's like, I cannot trust myself and all this other stuff. And so he walks over to what he's working on, and it's like this robot type thing. We saw a hint of it earlier in the original series and all this other stuff. And so, can you switch to the next picture, please? It has the robot on it.
Yep.
Yeah, so he switches on the power. And he's like, Christopher Robot, you're supposed to be powered down. Just kidding, he didn't turn it on. It turned on by itself. And it starts staticking. And he's like, Adam! Damn it.
Dang.
Sorry, my bad.
Yep, all good.
No, you're fine. So Christopher turns off the little heart mechanism. Yeah, apparently turned it on, and he was like, that's weird. And Christopher's like, Peggy, please generate a reminder to run a full diagnostic on Christopher Robot's OS and memory drives and all that other stuff. Trust me, query whether it is time that I disassemble Christopher Robot for spare parts. And Peggy does just that. She's a reliable pigeon. Why the robot was yelling out at him, we don't fucking know. I think it's my voice going into the robot. Because I am a major simp for this monster man.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm a major simp, okay? It's kind of sad on my part. But it's fine because I also love characters like Alucard, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's on me. Anyway, so we hear some banging from upstairs. He's like, bang, 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 bang. Like, okay, Mom, shouldn't be home for another 30 minutes, so what the fuck can it be? Might be Yordi. I think it's Yordi. Does he want his comics back? So he climbs up. He hides the little, the cool science lab with, a filing cabinet or whatever the hell. And he opens the door. Can you switch to the... not 9. Yeah, 5. He's like, Frankenstein, is that you? Adam Frankenstein. And Chris was like, what? Who the fuck are you? That symbol, looks very similar to Adam. Like, who the fuck are you? And so, this guy, kind of low-key falls to the ground. He's like, my name is Dr. Henry Jekyll. My life's endangered. I'm being hunted. Where is Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... we get a lot of talking about him, but I'm not seeing much of seeing of him,
Yeah.
And so we cut back to that kid again. Do you have the last picture?
Oh, what's the last one? Oh, did you?
Yeah. So we cut back to that kid, and we see some
Oh.
smoke, and all this other stuff. And the kid looks up. He's like, "What the hell?" And
That
we see this
design looks
cowboy-looking motherfucker,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Howdy, apologies for the fright, but I got myself a monster to hunt." I don't know why that's the voice I decided to give him. But
That's the Western Grim Reaper right there. I
think it might be working for the Hellwing organization as a rogue bounty. But
Why the
by
fuck?
the way, that's where the issue ends. But we just get a letters page though. But besides the point, I'm kind of curious. To see how some of these plot lines ended, because after the first arc of Christopher Chaos, which was taking place in issue 6, we get introduced to a character we haven't seen. We have never seen before, so that's interesting. And also, I want to see Clement again. I miss Clement, my favorite little witch boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, where is Adam? Give me my man. Put him in my hand. Put him right there. Okay? I don't care if this is a limited series. You're gonna give me my man right now. Do you understand me?
There you go.
I need my man. I need my favorite gay Asian monster. We don't get a lot of those, so I would like him right here, please. Also, audience, I have all the fabric I need to make the cloak for my Adam cosplay, and then I will be like 85% done with my cosplay. It's that
There you
fucking
go.
brooch I'm making. So stay tuned for that. But also,
Cool.
I'm excited for more Christopher Chaos because I love Christopher Chaos. So
Mhm.
stay tuned for more Christopher Chaos, besties.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
I love
Which will continue to spread the word of chaos, audience. You
Yeah.
know? So
Monster Club! Monster Club!
okay. All right. So I guess with that, we'll move on to the next book.
All right.
Go ahead, man.
Well, this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is Jason
Mhm.
Aaron's and Juan Ferreira's TMNT run. To give y'all kind of a synopsis of where we're at in this story, this is post whatever the last run happened. So after the magical shit with Donnie and all that shit and the Armageddon, all that, whatever. If you want to
Mhm.
read that, go ahead. But
Mhm.
this is a brand new jumping on point. And at this point, the brothers are separated and they are just now coming back together. Donnie's mind is messed up all the way because that's the side effects of what he decided to do in order to bring down the Armageddon, right? And then Mikey became a superstar. And Raph went to prison because he's fighting the good fight.
As one would do.
And then Leo went to go become a soft shell turtle. So,
Wow.
right. So that's how this series starts off. And we learned that this new DA, I forgot his fucking name. He has it out for mutants. So he is making it like hard, like for mutants to exist in New York City. He is taking Karai's fucking Foot Clan. So technically Karai is running the city.
Okay.
And employing them as federal officers, right? To go into these neighborhoods and beat down on mutants. And they were also tasked personally to go kill the turtles.
Oh
Like
wow.
they were tasked to kill the turtles. So where we're at in issue 9, Donnie is locked up. He turned himself in at the end of issue 8 because he felt like that was what needed to bring his brothers together because they weren't listening to him. And we find out it was at the end of that issue, Leo starts to connect with what Donnie was saying, that there is the spirit of Splinter, because Splinter is dead now. Splinter's dead.
Yeah.
So if we'll get into the next page right here, get on to the first page.
Yeah.
So this is you kind of see right here, Mikey and the brothers are still at bay with one another. They're going out on solo nights, getting their fights out, getting their aggression out, basically abandoning what they're taught, right?
Right.
If you could take me to the page where Raph and Mikey go back to the sewer.
Wait,
Talk to Leo. We have this. Okay, so this is after that. So before this page, Leo and Mikey were having an argument, and Leo was trying to tell him basically like, "Hey, Donnie's fucking right. You need to sit here and you need to listen. You need to tune in. What Master Splinter has taught you, right?" And Mikey's all like, "That's just a fucking dead fucking rat, dude. I'm tired of y'all." Right? Yeah, no, he said it's just a dead fucking rat, and I'm tired of y'all preaching this bullshit So he ups and leaves, to go relieve some bit of his anger, right?
That's
Um,
like about the harshest thing I ever heard that guy say, man. Like,
no,
wow.
he's like, he's more important. He's trying to get Donnie. Like, he's trying to go get Donnie by himself.
Yeah.
But, and it's surprising that we find Raph connects with Leo before fucking Mikey does.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see in the last page, he's all like, Mikey's gone, so how come I still hear his pathetic, annoying crying? And then he was all like, no possible way. Dad? So this is where we're at. Mikey's on the fucking train trying to beat out these mutants, these people that are dressing up like mutants, that are pretending to be mutants to spread this propaganda, whatever, right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're literally hired by the DA too.
Wear mutant masks. Do a
Yep.
mutant face. Wow. Okay.
So of course Mikey gets to beating their fucking ass. Like he, styles off on them and knocks their fucking teeth out.
Yeah, he's bent on making sure that their faces look like mutants after tonight. That's what I'm hearing.
Now, if you pay attention to this guy, this mysterious figure, this is the kind of dude that kind of leads Mikey into the direction of like, yeah, maybe my brothers were right. Because you see, he brings him to these group of fans that are really like truly fans of Mikey, that really fucking love him.
Okay.
So he gets inspired and remembers what Splinter fucking told him and goes out to patrol the streets. Now, can we go to the last page?
Oh, the very last page of this.
Yep.
Right there.
He doesn't realize, even though he's fighting, right? It takes him and his brothers to get beaten the fuck down. That's where he starts to realize, oh, Splinter's still somehow, like Splinter's spirit is still somehow alive.
Yeah.
And that now they're able to kind of mesh together a little bit. And that's kind of where we have left off. It's very much a filler issue. I know I probably didn't describe it in the most exciting way, but
oh no, you did, man.
I think this TMNT run should have honestly been nominated for an Eisner. It is some of Jason Aaron's best writing.
It kind of seemed like ever since Jason Aaron moved away from Marvel, he's kind of been doing a lot of good more stuff,
Like he's cooking with the absolute Superman, and then this shit right here, like.
And he also wrote Batman Offworld, which is a pretty good book.
Batman Offworld is really fucking good, and I gotta say, Juan Ferreira's art on this book, this is the best that the Turtles have ever looked.
I know, right?
That's hard to say because the Turtles have always looked good in comics.
I know, right? Doesn't that make you feel anything looking at this panel, audience, with the nunchucks lying on the ground with a bloodied fist and a dead rat there? Like, god dang.
It
does. So, yeah. Sounds like a good issue. Again, Jason Aaron getting out of Marvel is the best thing that ever happened to the guy. So
yeah, a lot of people did not like his Namor run.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It was very out of character for him.
Yeah, I still haven't
love
forgiven.
the art though. One of the artists of Breyer drew in it, so.
Yeah, I still haven't forgotten what he did to Robbie Reyes in Avengers. I can move on, but I can never forget, audience. So
he has arguably the greatest Thor run ever.
Oh yeah, it was definitely impactful. Yep.
That Gore the God Butcher, solidifies his entire career.
Oh yeah, it was definitely an intense era of Thor with Jason
Yeah.
Aaron. Yeah. Yep. So, all right then. Any final thoughts on this book before we move on, man?
Honestly, dude, this book is amazing.
Mhm.
It's if you haven't if you haven't thought about joining or have been thinking about hopping on a Turtles book, this is the
Give
perfect book to jump on.
give the give the trade a chance, audience. You know, at this point, the trade hasn't been released. You know,
It's only
so
9 issues deep. It's only
yep,
9 issues deep.
yep, deep like the sewers.
Yeah.
But all right then. I guess with that, we could probably move on now. So, moving on to the next book, which is Gwenpool #2, audience. Again, I never imagined myself being invested in this book because I know the premise when we first heard about this was, oh, Gwen Stacy coming back to life for the upteenth time. Like what haven't you done with her at this point? What did they do? They made her part of the Weapon X program. An audience, I mean Weapon X as an EX, because now there's a division out there that's looking to weaponize your ex lovers. Like, god damn. Oh, that's uh pretty scary if you want to think of it that way, like
Luckily, one of my faves won't be having that because Marvel refused to give
well,
him a love interest until
you,
2009, and the other one is dead.
which don't throw away that fear, don't throw away that hope after this review because something does happen here
They're not
that might
bringing
give you
back
hope.
Marvel.
We'll see, we'll see. So anyway, this issue starts
Spoiler.
off with what was that, hardcore?
It's an Ayo spoiler. No, I'm kidding.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, I mean, when we're doing reviews, so spoilers are at your own risk, audience, for books that came out a weekend already. So anyway, last issue was basically Gwenpool, Spider-Man, and Kate Bishop all dealing with the fallout of fighting against Fing Fang Foam in the city, and that's when Gwen Stacy pops up in like a dark Gwenpool inspired costume, and everybody's like dealing with, oh my god, it's actually Gwen Stacy. And yeah, I know a lot of us are frustrated with her, right? We're all a little bit annoyed as how she's like the ex girlfriend that will never leave you alone for Peter. Here, you would think like, okay, this is gonna be like an emotional moment, like Gwen trying to comfort Peter about moving on. It wasn't your fault. No, this Gwen Stacy is a bitch. Like, good lord. She sees Peter. Let me see if I can read that dialogue right. Give me a sec. I have the book in front of me. Okay. Okay. This is what Gwen Stacy tells Peter. Look at you. I wondered what I'd feel when I saw you again. Now I know. You know who I am, Peter. The woman you killed. I'm like, God Lord, woman, come on. Have you not seen the life what Peter had to go through ever since you died? It's pretty much been a living hell, all right? And that's not including the whole Paul situation.
And that's not
So,
including the time he actually went to hell to deal with Mephisto's bullshit.
I know. Hey, it's part of Limbo still considered a block in New York right now? I forget.
I think so. Don't quote me on that.
Remember
I
the
don't know.
one that?
Madeline Pryor's probably just chilling out, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me.
Imagine, audience, your hell is such a chillax sort of phrase that you can actually own real estate on that in a block now. So look at that. Okay, so anyway, they get to fighting. Gwen Stacy's doing whatever she can to trash talk Peter, and while Gwenpool herself is trying to go fight off against Gwen Stacy. And yeah, Gwen Stacy now has skills in this book. I don't know what the Weapon X program puts its rosters through, but hey, look at that, audience. your ex-lovers will come back as fierce assassins looking to get you. I'm like, okay. So anyway, as the book goes, we see a mysterious figure around the corner that Gwen Stacy happens to see. And let me bring them up. So this looks like it's another person from the Weapon X program. We don't know who. Can you see which?
Yeah, I can see it. It's just I'm recording this on my phone, so.
Oh, okay. Well, bottom line is which we don't. It's a fully covered costume, so we don't know who's inside this.
No
Like,
shit, Sherlock.
what ex lover could come back from the dead and seek
You know
revenge?
what? You know what
Yeah.
this suit looks like?
What?
Red
Did you
Hood?
did you read that TMNT Power Rangers crossover? This looks like that Ranger X costume, exactly like it.
Oh, Major X. Oh, good lord.
The Ranger X.
Oh, Ranger X. Oh, okay. Yeah, the design seems to look similar. But when you said Ranger X, now I'm thinking Major X. Remember that character that was supposed to be a big hype moment in Marvel when Rob Liefeld came back? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's quickly forgotten about them. But no, I do see the resemblance there, hardcore. But place your bets, audience, for who this can be. You know, although
I swear, if this is how they bring back Marvel, I'm going to kill you.
hey, let this be a package.
You know what? You know who I want to see from this
Yeah,
that would actually make sense?
Who?
Okay. I need to give context real quick. I'll make it quick. So back in like early 2010, around that era, Selene, the mutant Selene, you know Selene. You do, you don't. Google's free.
The Black Queen. The Black Queen.
Yeah. So basically, she was, doing whatever she does to get more power. And one mutant tried to stop her, as one does, and she got killed because of it. And that person is Lillian Crawley, aka Diamond Lil. Mm-hmm. She has not been brought back. Not on Krakoa, none of it. Okay? No. And like her husband, Madison Jeffries, fuck you, Jeffries, is still alive and kicking.
Wow.
So I think it would be really funny, for me personally, if they brought back Diamond Lil this way to go after Jeffries. Have Jeffries do something for once.
Use the opportunities that the Weapon X program provides, which, like, so.
I don't need Marvel, but I would right now, but I would love Lillian to come back.
Hey, I would say it will be a package deal with Marvel because, hey, they already resurrected one blonde Caucasian person. Why not the other, So.
Well, technically, he's not Caucasian. He's a pink-skinned Cree.
Oh, okay.
Are you generalizing all people just because they have blonde hair and someone?
Do you realize that the Kree are like the white people of the
galaxy? But Marvel
I know the Kree.
He gets discriminated based on his skin color because the blue skin Kree were seen as like more quote unquote superior.
Mm-hmm.
But the only reason why he was used for like his original Earth mission was because he was able to blend in with humans. They didn't care if he died.
So he's passing.
Yeah, well, he's been dead for 40 years, so.
Gotcha. But anyway, so bottom line is like we have a mysterious character here, audience. We'll see we'll see who they get revealed to be, and so the fight commences. Right, they continue on. Mm-hmm. They're trying to stop Gwen Stacy from doing whatever she's doing. Apparently, she wants to try killing Peter Parker.
I mean, I get it.
How ironic would this be if in this story it's Gwen Stacy who tosses Peter off the bridge? Like, dude, at that point, I just want Peter to move on. Like, you suffered enough, dude. Like,
he's got a girlfriend already.
What's her name? I forgot her name.
But she's so fucking cool.
I feel like the end game with that girl is she's going to end up dating Paul after Paul redemption.
It's most definitely going to be a Detective Carly situation. Like, where you're going to like the girl so much so, and then like 3-4 years from now, she's going to be nothing.
Pretty much, Now, Paul will live rent free in the minds of hardcore Peter MJ shippers, which, so, yeah.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
fucking hate Paul.
everybody does. But we'll
Oh, shit.
eventually,
Zeb Wells, apparently. He
well,
loves him.
yeah, hardcore. We'll eventually find out one person out there who actually likes Paul. Who that's
I'm-
gonna be like that. That'll be like
Yeah,
that.
it's like
Finding
trying
that.
to find an authentic Charles Xavier fan out there.
Hmm. It's like trying to find that ultra rare Pokemon out there in the
Dude.
wilderness. You know they're hiding somewhere. You know, like,
No, you know that there's just one fucker out there that's just like, yeah, I like Paul just to piss people off.
because they have
Fight them.
because they will probably feel the need to defend anything they Marvel does with Spider-Man. You know, at that point. But anyway, so as the fight commences, you get a one-on-one tango between Gwen Stacy and Gwenpool, and Gwen Stacy is pretty much dominating Gwen to the point where she does Gwen a favor. She does a reenactment of a famous scene in Marvel Comics. Does this ring any bell?
Oh shit, the thing they do with
Ooh.
Elektra.
Yep, she even brings that up. Gwen Stacy even brings that up. Nice visual reference, a real classic. So, audience, this whole Gwenpool comic ended up becoming the death of Gwenpool. Yeah, she's dead.
Dude, that's
She's dead.
That's ace phobia, dude.
Which,
Ace phobia during Pride Month? What is this, cryptid?
look at it this way, right? I said this when it came to Kamal Khan's death, right? You know, a character has made it big when they have their own death of story. Because audience, in retrospective, think of the people who normally get death of stories. Like, okay, there's Superman, of course, Captain America, Daredevil, Captain Marvel. Let's see who else. To do Hulk, Hawkeye. Yeah, typically the straight white male characters typically get that story, you know. So hey, I consider this progress if people outside that category.
I just recently found out that the same guy who wrote the death of Captain Marvel wrote Jason Todd's death a few years later.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Jim Starlin.
Wow, what a legacy to leave. What a mark to leave in the community. But anyway, so yeah, I guess which more reason to want to bring Gwen Stacy back 6 feet under, right? You know, how dare she kill Gwenpool?
Who
But
killed like
hey,
one of my few ace representation? How fucking dare you, bitch?
but anyway, so yeah, this is Gwen's final moments. She's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm dying just like that out of the blue." But yeah, and you know what? You know the thing about death? It hurts. Oh, dude. As the next issue shows that Gwenpool is now a ghost, helping Spider-Man fight off against Gwen Stacy. Like, yeah, it's a wild flavor of a story. I'll say that, audience. You know, so but I'm invested to see where this goes. So yeah, for the next issue is going to be a world without Gwenpool. How will we live, audience? How will we survive? How will we be affected? You know, so
I'll be deeply affected. I love Gwenpool. Okay.
she's an exotic flavor of a character. I'll say that. So, yep. But alright then. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my book. So we can move on to the next.
Well, to our book.
Yay, go
We're
ahead.
not done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
You're
bitch,
taking the
we're
lion's
talking
share of
about-
this.
Talking about Doom's Division number 4.
Yeah, can I just say, awesome cover right there, audience.
Yeah,
you know?
they're making a reference to a Korean card game that I played one time and I forgot the name of, and I didn't really understand how to play it. So,
Gotcha.
but White Fox, how you doing, girly pop? Anyways,
Yeah, we all forgive you for killing off Sunfire, right?
I
So,
don't.
yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know about that one.
Well, just say there Just saying, there are worse ways to die out there, audience, and having
I guess because guess what? Iceman died a similar way back like 2 years ago. Look at
Yeah.
where he is now.
Well, in this
Still
story
not a fucking whore.
and in this story context, audience, apparently Sunfire gets killed from a kiss from White Fox. Like
Yeah,
there there are worse ways to die in Marvel. Let's just agree to that, audience. So
You're
all
lucky
right.
that Jake isn't here because I would have brought up how Reed Richards couldn't cure Marvel of his cancer, and he would have been like, "Yeah, because he's a fraud." Hardcore. It's an ongoing joke between for Jake. Just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah. Just to let you know, hardcore, Jake is to Mr. Fantastic what J. Jonah Jameson is to Spider-Man. That's how intense he is. Like,
I fucking hate Reed Richards too. Fuck him.
Moon Girl forever.
Dude, do you know how many times Reed Richards has inadvertently caused the fucking problem?
Can't solve it. Gotcha.
We're gonna go to Seoul, South Korea. You know, and we're seeing Luna Snow do an interview in front of a cool looking mural. Ooh, that totally isn't like propaganda type thing.
Yep. Because she's still going with the flow of, hey, let's be Doom supporters here, audience.
Even though you damn well she ain't.
Mm-hmm. Oh, who's singing the Doom propaganda at the end, Witch?
Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, okay?
This is better.
Yeah, there you go.
So we cut to Doom's Division headquarters, and we see a bunch of people in prison, and obviously they can't get out.
Want me to go to the next picture?
A little bit upset, and you can go to the next picture, please.
Yep.
There we go. And Teguki's kind of upset, He's all like, he's like, this was my doing. Like, y'all put your trust in me, and I put my trust in White Fox, and now Sunfire is fucking dead.
Look at that scene in top right corner, audience. That was the last moment Sunfire had of life. Like, yeah.
So Karma is like, you're at fault, yes. Sunfire, like, we weren't super close, but we were both mutants, both X-Men, and now he's dead, obviously. I love that Karma's finally in a book. Put an iconic queer character in a book. Thank you. Instead of just putting her in a Pride book on a cover of a Pride issue and calling it a day. I'm still salty. I'm not
there you go.
Anyways, so what was the green guy's name again?
I forgot. Like, that robot character.
I'm gonna use descriptors if I don't remember their names, which is gonna happen a lot.
Yeah, it's great that like all these characters.
Somewhere along those lines.
Let me see. Yeah, the general. Yeah,
okay.
Audience. It's great that like this team is made up of people who are their own characters. They're not like derivatives of any other established Marvel hero or villain. But at the same time, they're so original. It's kind of hard to remember their names most of the time.
Yeah, here, our 50th king. Anyways, by the way, so the general is like, hey, at least Gunner 2 is got away, luckily. So we cut to Luna Snow's rehearsal venue with all her fans pulling up, as they do.
Let me bring up the picture, which...
No.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay, forgot you saw that. Audience.
I didn't get there yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyways, we see Gunner 2 trying to get in, and like one of the robots is like, do not enter, and he's like, yeah, your motherboard can't even run Pong, shut up. And he tries to find us like another way in, and so we cut back to the scene where Sunfire was killed by White Fox. And he's like, still, regardless of what Sunfire did, I never expected White Fox to go full Kumiho on us. If you guys don't know what a Kumiho is, it's basically the Korean version of a nine-tailed fox. They're a tiny bit different from Kitsune and Huilijing, which is the Chinese derivative, but it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
This other stuff, so yeah. Unfortunately, not everyone was so lucky, but at least he was a bit lucky. And all this other stuff. so we go back to the normal time where we see Gunner to running, and people are like, I don't know who that guy is fooling around with his cheap store bought cosplay, but I bet that's counterfeit Luna's Snow washi tape. It's like, damn, counterfeit. Now you can.
Okay.
There you go.
The future alternate skin of Luna Snow for Marvel Rivals audience.
Oh, they're definitely putting a derivative of this into Marvel Rivals eventually.
Oh
Like, if
my
everyone's
God.
gonna get a Doom skin, they're probably gonna pull from this book.
How could you, Luna Snow? I supported you.
Well, here's the thing: she's being forced to do this.
Mhm.
She doesn't wanna do it.
Yeah. Who's getting a paycheck at the end of the day? Which, like, you know. So,
Doom.
so yeah.
Anyway, so
So
she
this.
finishes like practicing her song and everything, and she's like, too bad the lyrics make me want to puke. I wrote those too. You know, and just can't shake this feeling that what we're doing is wrong. And so we look up, and the people who were making sure like everything sounds right, like they turn into little Dr. Dooms. You know, and she's upset. She's at the keyboard. She's just like, ugh. And so I'm assuming this guy's her manager or whatever the fuck. And he's like, you must be thirsty after hitting all those high notes and everything. And he's like, thank you, Luna. I know it's hard, but you touch a lot of lives with your music, and you'll touch so many more. And he's like, guess what? Don't you like some surprises? And brought a couple fans to meet up with her, where one of them is a girl with a prosthetic leg. And he's like, and she's like, oh wait, I remember you. It's great to see you again. And this must be your sister. Like, it's so nice to meet you. And so Luna signs her leg and everything, and all this other stuff. And she's like, dang, Mr. Beck is right. Like, how can I let them down? And all this other stuff. So we cut to a woman getting some tteokbokki, because tteokbokki is great. I am more of a kimbap person, but I do like tteokbokki as well. We see someone being like, Lady Bright. And she turns around and she's like, oh my God, long time no see. I was just thinking about Tiger Division. And she was like, sorry, Doom's Division. Anyways, so she's like, what are you wearing? And he's like, I can't explain here, but let's just say you were right all along, bestie. And all this other stuff. And so they're on the run. Lady Bright does her gambit power type thing, you know, and they swoosh away. Minus the kinetic energy, obviously. So they go to a karaoke place. And
of course.
Lady Bright's like, huh? What did you say?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, yeah, they go to a karaoke place because it's loud. You know how karaoke places can be. And Lady Bright's like, White Fox did what now? And so Gunner 2 was like, hey, you gotta keep it down. And Lady Bright's like, no one can hear us over all of this, man. That's why I chose this place of all places. Because, you know, that shit could be loud. People are not that good at singing half the time, which is fine. That's not the point of karaoke. And so Gunner 2 is like, okay, we need to help the others fast. White Fox has them all locked. In your power dampening cells below HQ, so we gotta go get them. And he's like, I tried to reach Luna, but her concert is more heavily guarded than the president's house right now. And Lady Bright's like, not too heavily guarded to stop a little magic. And Gunner 2 is like, can we still trust Luna, or is she in league with White Fox? And Lady Bright's like, no, she hates the propaganda videos White Fox is making her do it. You know, like, she's just as much as a prisoner as the rest of them. Like, I'll send Luna a message, but I make no promises.
All right.
And basically, Lady Bright opens up a little portal into the facility of the Doom's Division and all this other stuff.
Go to the next picture then?
No, not yet. Wait, was it the one where they're coming out of a door?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put it up. There you go. And she's like, Lady Bright's like, just like the days when the Korean government, quote unquote, disappears in protesters, huh? I thought we'd be beyond that. And Gunner 2 is like, sometimes the important lessons aren't the ones they teach in schools. Because guess what? If you don't live long enough, you're doomed to repeat it. Anyways, so we cut to the office of Ami Han, who is White Fox, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
She is the director of the Dooms division. She gets a couple beeps. She's like, beep, 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 beep. And she's like, looks like someone's taking the bait. I guess it's time to go. So Lady Bright and Gunner 2 are running through, and we see some guards and everything. And Lady Bright's like, normally I'd use a spell to locate water, but I can also use it to find people. So, they're about to get surrounded. But don't worry. You got another person with, like, cool powers, with cool abilities to stop them. And so they do with the power of light and refraction. Yay!
There you go.
Anyways, so Lady Bright is able to defuse the bars, the power dampening bars, so yeah. And everyone's like, fuck yeah, we could go do fighting things now. And so that's what they do. They do cool fighting things now. And now you can go to the last picture where we see Ami putting on her mask, her hair is turning white, and we see in a narration box that, but first we need to deal with White Fox. And that's where the issue ends, and we have one more issue of this book.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that.
Man, White Fox is being treated like a final boss here, you know?
Like, it kind of is.
Even in the cover...
Like, we're almost done
with
this
even in
damn event, dude.
Yep.
So in other words,
in the cover for a next issue audience...
White Fox is Jeffrey Epstein.
What was that, Hardcore?
Not White Fox being Jeffrey Epstein.
I would say White Fox is more of like the U.S. agent of Korea. Like, her dedication is to the Korean government first and foremost, no matter who's in charge, you know? So, yeah. If it's Doom, okay, yeah, I have to do what my government says, even if it means killing another mutant, you know? Which she did.
Well, she's not a mutant. She's a Kumiho. That's the difference.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, sorry, I was just referring specifically to Sunfire, you know? So, yeah, she killed a mutant audience, a government official just killed one, so... All right, but, like, in the cover for her next issue, right, it looks like she's going to go full beast mode. Like, she's
we haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, she's projecting, like, herself turning into a full, like, nine-tailed fox in the next one, so that's going to be something to look forward to. I'm just kind of like a little sad that you're telling me like the next issue is going to be the last because, hey, I feel like you could have stretched this out at least one more issue, you know, to see all the resolutions, you know. So,
but it's not up to me.
Yeah. Yep. But anyway, yeah, it was a good issue at the end of the day. So, any final thoughts before we move on?
No. I just gotta remember what the South Korean flag looks like for a second. I'll remember.
Gotcha. All right.
Really...
With that,
I have the flag right there. Let me go fucking pull it up. I'm working on one of my North Star OCs, and he happens to be Korean, so I gotta remember what the Korean flag looks like.
Gotcha. Hardcore, you were about to say something?
I just really wish that all the One World Under Doom stuff would just be released under one title.
I know.
There's a lot of fucking titles under this event.
Yeah, this was a last minute event because they weren't originally gonna do this event, but then they were like,
because remember, like it was implied that King was going to be leading the event in Marvel because like the breadcrumbs we saw in Avengers, right? It looked like King was going to be set up to do something big. But, you know, situations happened with the MCU that kind of threw Kang away and Doom came to the forefront. So the comic editors are like, okay, now we have to make a Doom event.
I really wish that they would stop following the movies.
Yeah, I know. It's just the rules they have to play with nowadays.
I blame editorial. When everything shitty happens, blame editorial.
Yeah. I mean, hardcore. I don't know if you heard about this, but apparently, like, the Marvel editor, Tom Brevoort, openly stated, comics nowadays are just being made to use as material for future MCU projects, you know?
Yeah, and that's kind of bad.
Yeah, Yeah, I
Stories should
know.
be written to be fucking stories. Like these writers
they're be-
go.
they're being written with the idea that the MCU will pick up on them. I mean, hey, what happened with Devil's Reign? Like, hasn't even been like 5 years, and the MCU is already doing that. So,
Well, if you want the MCU to pick up on a story, let the
Mhm.
writers write a good story, not something like last minute. I'm not saying that this ain't good.
Keep in mind, Blood Hunt was great. I loved Blood Hunt, and then
It was.
this man is just kind of eh. I mean, I was just grateful that I was able to get the Nico Minoru Pride cover for
Yeah.
this. So I'm just like,
Blood
yeah.
Blood Hunt lived up to his reputation as to being gory.
I mean,
We
they
always give
gave us
credit for that.
gore, and now we're getting polybagged comics now with more mature stuff, which is like kind of what we wanted
Yeah.
with more mature R-rated
The
stuff.
whole that whole Red Band issue the whole Red Band gimmick ended up replacing Marvel Max audience. So yeah.
I mean, like, keep in mind, I pre-ordered the red band because I knew I wanted it more than the white band.
Mm-hmm.
So I came prepared, so suck it, losers. I'm still getting Werewolf by Night in my thing. I took out a couple of other books I didn't want, but hey, suck my dick.
Gotcha.
Get my books.
All right. But anyway, I think we should probably move on. So
You guys got a
next
couple more books.
Gotcha. Next comic we're talking about is Spider-Girl #1, audience. And to all you Spider-Boy haters out there, give a round of applause to Spider-Girl, because you know dang well Spider-Boy got so popular that they had to replace him with a female counterpart.
Dude, there's too
That's
many spider people, man.
Yeah, I know.
This TMNT cover is sick as fuck.
It is. But anyway, so Spider-Girl, she's, I'm willing to give her a chance. I thought she was okay when she was introduced into, Spider-Boy's comic. She's immune, by the way, audience. And her power is to copy the powers of the people she sees, Yeah, that could be easily exploited, right? But yeah, this is her kind of stretching her own wings. She's doing a roundabout in the streets after the whole tournament, the dragon tournament that she went with Spider Boy, and apparently Bullseye seems to be telling her because Bullseye now has a score to settle with Spider Girl because Spider Girl, his student, ended up betraying him during that event. So hey, to be fair, Bullseye, the moment she found out that you were planning on slicing her throat, I would imagine any student would want to backstab their teacher, So, yeah. And, which I remember the last time we talked about Spider Boy, right? You had mentioned, like, he should be taking martial arts courses or something like that in his free time. Which,
Huh? What?
in the last time we were talking about Spider Boy, you had mentioned that Bailey should be going off, like, practicing some martial arts course or something like that.
Did I? I don't know. It's been a while, and we talked about so many goddamn books.
Gotcha.
I keep telling you to limit the amount of Spider-Man topics that we talk.
Well, if it makes you feel better, we're about to be done with Spider Boy.
Also, if she's a mutant, I better see her at the vigil next week.
There you go.
I got my twin. I got who I wanted.
So anyway, like, she actually does do what Witch wanted Bailey to do, which is actually take a martial arts course, audience, in her spare time. You as a superhero, you gotta keep your skills sharp. After all,
Yep.
So, yep. But then, exactly. So unfortunately, she ended up getting the eye of like this shady organization that's looking to apparently take her mutant power. Because hey, that could be a pretty handy trick to be able to copy somebody's powers literally just by looking at them. Hey, look at the Super Adaptoid from Justice League Unlimited. After all, audience.
Look at Taskmaster.
Oh yeah, there you go. So anyway, apparently this shady organization sends vermin after Spider-Girl. Fight commences. I'm not going to get too into detail as to what happened in the fight, just that Spider-Girl ends up using her powers on vermin, which ends up allowing her to control all his other henchmen. And pretty much the day was saved. Oh, let me bring up a picture of her actually. Look at her, audience. A new young hero for a new generation. So all right. Yeah, all goes well. The day is saved at the end. It's just a typical young superhero story at the end of the day, audience. Oh, and can I also mention she also has spiked webbing? Yeah, I hope that's coming from a web shooter because I can imagine how painful that must be coming out of your actual wrists. Like damn,
Yeah,
damn.
that's gonna be terrible.
Gotcha. But anyway, yeah, that's it for my book. So, all right, we can move on. Hardcore.
This is G.I. Joe issue 8. This is part
Mm-hmm.
of the Inner John universe. This is not the Larry Hama run. This is
Yeah.
not that. It's not
Mm-hmm.
part of the Real American Hero. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so this has been a very interesting book.
Mm-hmm.
This takes place. We are just post everything that the Cobra has been trying to do with the brain bomb and everything, trying to brainwash people within Washington D.C. Um, this is prepping us up for Major Blood's revenge.
Oh
And the
yeah.
last time we saw Major Blood was in that Duke miniseries where he got his fucking shit rocked, and he got it
That was
rocked pretty fucking hard.
that was a dope series, audience. So go read it.
Very
So,
good series, very
yep.
very good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Man, Andre Milana on this fucking book, perfect. As you can see with this cover, just
Mm-hmm.
chef's kiss. But anyways, let's get into this. Let's get to the second page.
Right there.
So as y'all can see, if y'all haven't been caught up with this book, y'all can see we got a new Joe right there. That is Risk.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course we got Cover Girl, in which
Mm-hmm.
even though this is a Baroness focused issue, they did show a lot of love to Cover Girl, which is very, very nice because
Yeah.
she very hardly ever gets any like screen time or time in the books. It's always Lady K or
This is Scarlet.
you know
Yeah, this is why they couldn't let Scarlet be in this team right now because yeah, you need to give some spotlights to other female members of the Joe team. So
and it's really nice to see the Baroness not be a part of Destro's team and
yeah,
really her be a
yeah.
core part of the Joes. And I really hope that
Yeah.
they keep it this way.
Even
Uh,
though, like, for me, I'm always worried, like, is that going to be a ticking time bomb down the line where eventually we're going to have to see Baroness join up with the Cobras? Like,
I hope that she stays on the Joes.
same, same.
Yeah. But anyways, this what we're seeing right now is some training right now. They're
Yeah.
running clear just to warm up or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Because
simulation, yeah.
they are facing a greater threat in Cobras, and especially with Cobra now having Energon at his disposal.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so that the Joes realized like, hey, we need to be prepared for this, so we're gonna go face some fucking Transformers. Um,
Hmm.
so all in all, she ends up failing the course. Duke ends up criticizing her, being Duke, whatever.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so she's all like, well, if you're gonna be like this with me, at least like give me 48 hours to get away
Hmm.
from y'all.
Yeah.
Um, because she's all like, if you can let Clutch do this, then why can't I? Oh, and by the way, Clutch is in contact with Hound, the Autobot.
Yes.
So,
They're
uh,
keeping it secret for a time being, audience. So,
so Duke doesn't know about that. Um,
hmm Yeah, given Duke's experience with another robot in disguise, I think it might be for the best.
Yeah,
So
he wants to murk every robot.
yeah. Mhm.
So basically, she gets granted the 48-hour pass to go fly to Paris. Every
Mhm.
Joe fan knows that Paris is a fucking big thing in the Joe series.
Yep.
For whatever reason, Paris is always going to be mentioned. Um,
Mhm.
but
Want to bring
she
up the next picture?
yeah, bring up that picture.
Yep.
Like, look at her beautiful Baroness. Look
Yeah,
at she
really
got
professional and really elegant.
ready to go. She is dressed up, and look at that suitcase too.
Oh yeah.
Like that smell like money. Uh, but of course, she can't go by herself. So who comes along with her? None other than CoverGirl.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Which I'm surprised you didn't put this photo up. But CoverGirl brings up the fact that like, oh yeah, this is not my first time on a private jet. Like yours is nice. Don't get me wrong. She's like, oh, I've been on all sorts of planes, including Air Force One. Now that is top notch luxury right
Yeah.
there.
CoverGirl is more than just a code name, audience,
Yep.
because before she was in the military, she was an actual model.
Yep.
So yeah. A model that wanted to do more with her life than just look pretty. Put it that way,
You can look pretty and beat people's asses.
Yep.
Yep. That's what she chose to do, which
I don't know. I never got into GI Joe, so
Oh, now's the time. Now's the time.
yeah, but I'm not really that interested.
Go
So
Joes.
the reason why that the Baroness chose to fly to Paris was because that's where her parents like go to celebrate their anniversary.
Yeah.
Um, her parents don't know that she's still alive. Like she's in the world standards, like she's dead, you know. Like as far as they're concerned, she's gone. So every time that they celebrate their anniversary, she flies to Paris to go watch them have dinner.
No.
And it kind of like, heals. She said it like heals her a little bit. And now CoverGirl was all like, well, why don't you just go say hi? Baroness don't want to be dealing with that.
Can't just go up and say hi. Are you kidding me?
Hey, I'm your little girl all grown up.
But anyways, this is where we learn that you want to flip what page you got? Flip to the next page. Oh, that's the ending. Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
But there's another page where Major Blood's being radioed in, like, I found her, right?
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, there's this falcon that lands right on their fucking table. And they're all like, okay, what's going on? Then a whole swarm of falcons come crashing in, and then flip to the next page. And then that's where we end off with Raptor disappearance.
Oh yeah. And he's looking like he's going to be placing those talents to use in the next issue, audience. Dang.
It's very much a issue. Like I said, my best issues that I picked for this week were very much filler issues.
No, but it was good. Like, I mean, as you said before, I like that this is giving someone like CoverGirl time to shine. Have some moments as well. Even if it's like a team up between her and Baroness. So
yeah,
and moments like these are just what gives me hope that they'll continue to have Baroness on the Joes, like, because I still believe like there might be a point where she joins Cobras, but it's just like these calm me down on that idea, you know. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't see her joining the Cobras, but
hmm
I do see Duke having a bit of a loose cannon moment and her having to reel his ass in, you know?
yeah, yeah. You know, Duke is under a lot of pressure, you know, after what happened during their last mission. You know, he just wants to make sure everybody's ready and yeah, and all that good stuff. You know,
And he did find out about those fucking androids that Destro was building, and now those are being powered by Energon. They're being worked on so
yeah,
that way
mhm.
they
And
have
he
like
knows,
soldiers.
yep, and he knows that their leader, Cobra Commander, has a metallic arm powered by Gen Energon. So
Hmm.
there's that. So yeah, they're getting stuff done. You know, so yeah.
Like this Cobra Commander is feeling very much like GI Joe Sigma 6 Cobra Commander. You know,
Oh yeah.
well, he's a little brutal. He's a little bit more like, yeah, he'll do the classic Cobra stuff, but
Yeah.
this guy will put the hands on him. He's a
Yeah.
menace.
Yeah, I've seen him take some torture in this Energon universe. I still
Yep.
remember that issue. Damn.
I have I fucking hate what Cobra stands for, right?
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I have that last panel of
Hmm.
Cobra Commander. Uh,
Yeah.
it's issue 3, and you just see his smiley face, or like
Oh yeah.
on his mask.
Yeah.
He's just standing there. I have that on my as my like screensaver.
Dude, that became so big that apparently they decided to make a variant cover a couple of issues later where they put a cardboard cutout of Cobra Commander's face with that smile stapled to the cover of the comic.
That's crazy.
Like, you know, wow. But hey, at the end of the day, villains are supposed to be people that you hate, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, you want to see him get his ass whooped by the end of this,
Oh yeah,
definitely.
I definitely do. But
Hmm.
he's definitely one of the greatest villains out of this year.
Oh, there you go, you know? So, yeah. Any final thoughts on this great issue before we move on, man?
Honestly, go pick up this GI Joe stuff, and not only this. Okay, you want to pick up the rest of the Energon universe. You want to pick up Transformers and Void
Hmm.
Rivals,
Oh, yeah. It's definitely one to look out for, audience. Yeah.
especially
So,
Void Rivals. Void Rivals is a sleeper. People sleep on that series. That's one of the better books.
there you go. There you go. So, all right, then, audience. I guess with that, let's move on to the last book of the night. Do-do-do-do. And we're talking about Avengers number 27. All right. So, in case people need up to speed on what's going on, it's literally just Sam Wilson and Black Panther alone in the Impossible City, which is the Avengers fortress at the moment in the sky, that's being invaded by the new adaptation of the Masters of Evil, that's being led by the Man Tinkerer. Now, Sam Wilson did what he could. He took out some of the members already, but he still needs some help. I mean, he's still injured. He's not looking too good. I mean, he does have the assistance of the Impossible City's AI helping him, giving him a really good suit. I gotta add, it's hardcore. Have you seen his new suit?
Black Panther's new suit,
Oh no, Sam Wilson's.
Sam Wilson's new suit. I've seen some panels.
Gotcha. It's like more of a solid blue suit. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have the full body shot, but the suit will be in one of the pictures I send
Yeah.
later, right? I'll bring up later. But anyway, so yeah, T'Challa, in case people need to know what he's been doing, yeah, he's been out in a different planet liberating them. This planet was where the Twilight Court were housing all their, inmates, this and that, right? All their prisoners of war. And T'Challa decides to go and free them all. And they all pretty much make T'Challa their king, even though T'Challa didn't want it. Like, man, look at that, audience. Wakanda kicks T'Challa out of their city, only for T'Challa to make a kingdom of his own somewhere else. You know, that's dope, right there. But yeah, apparently this planet plays by the rules of like, yeah, what's a day in the 616 world will equate to a couple months in this world. So yeah, I really hate that little writing gimmick they're doing nowadays, audience. Like, but what can you do? Anyway, so they fight. They're trying to tag team against Mr. Hyde. And yeah, right now, Mr. Hyde, he always alters his serums every now and then. So right now, he's basically gone Hulk mode. But luckily for Sam, he has the assistance of like the previous Master of Evil he just took down, Madcap, as he decides to use his head to beat Mr. Hyde. Let me bring it up. Look at that, audience. Look at that. He treats Madcap's head as if it's Medusa's head, because in case people need to know, Madcap, he's a crazy guy, and his power is to literally make other people crazy by looking at their eyes. So yeah, yeah. So they were able to beat Mr. Hyde, as one would expect. And next thing you know, let me bring up a picture. They have to fight the other Master of Evil, and I'm just going to call her Dominatrix. I know she has a different supervillain name, but what's the audience? What's the first thing that pops up to your mind when you see this picture?
Let me get a little look.
Straight up dominatrix.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is bondage, straight up.
That is leather.
I saw a video where someone was like, if you want to write comics, you got to be a little freaky. And this just
Yeah.
She's just missing a whip. I'm like, I know her choice of weapon is a gun, but I feel like that's a poor choice of weapon to fit with your gimmick
you
here.
could have had like what's the thing that people use for horses? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that little stake whip. It's still considered a whip.
Piece of leather. Yeah, that thing.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, she's the next opponent for these two to fight. Oh geez, now that I think about it, maybe a villain coming at Sam Wilson T'Challa with a whip might not look like the greatest image to draw. Now that I think about it, yeah. I don't know. Maybe wearing all that leather overcompensates for that. Hey, everybody has their kinks at the end of the day. So
Jen McCabe.
yeah. Yep. But anyway, so she comes at them with golden pistols that shoot bullets that turn people into gold. So, hey, you're winning gold, audience. She went from dominatrix to gold digger. But regardless, at the end of the day, Sam Wilson and T'Challa were able to beat her. And this is where Matt Tinkerer reveals his other plan, right? Like, he doesn't care that the two were able to defeat his team because they were disposable in his eyes. His real end game was actually to get the super adaptoid armor. And even though, like, yeah, his team is gone, he still has all their powers with his adaptoid armor. So, yeah, that's pretty much where the issue ends. That was a good. It's not so much as a good issue, but it's a good complement to a story arc where hey, Sam Wilson and T'Challa are trying to fight the Masters of Evil, and I gotta say I've been missing that team for a while now. They've just been gone from history at this point. When was the last time? When was the last time Masters of Evil were relevant?
Yeah.
You mean the Master of the World? He's a bitch.
I mean, the last time I saw any adaptation of them being used was during Jason Aaron's Avengers run, where they were masters of the multiverse.
That's even more fucking lame.
Yep. The version that had like what was it? A venomized Killmonger, a venomized Red Skull, and some other characters I'm sure we all forgot about. So variants of them.
Pussy
But
shit. Yeah, we know.
gotcha. Oh, here's his Adaptoid armor. I forgot to show it. So
That's lame.
yeah, yeah. Well, he's more about like practicality than looks, which he's a tinkerer after
He's
all.
function over fashion. Well, sometimes you need
It-
fashion. Okay?
He's a mad scientist. So yeah.
Okay, you can
But
still look good.
gotcha.
Look at
But
what Chris
anyway,
does, man. He wears the same fucking yellow jacket and everything.
gotcha.
He's a little autistic.
Gotcha. Anyway, audience, yeah, that's pretty much it for the issue. And yeah, that's pretty much it for comics of the week.
Kind
Well,
of.
there we go. Well, I'd like to thank Hardcore for joining us for this week. Hopefully, you'll be with us when we talk about Absolute Wonder Woman. We need somebody to talk about that with one of these days. So, yeah.
I'll be more than happy to talk about it, especially after this next issue.
You should come back for the next issue of Ultimate X-Men.
Oh, bet.
Gotcha. Well, we'll work it out. So, anyway, audience, thank you for joining us, and we'll be seeing you all next time.
Bye.
See ya.
Guys, thank you for having me.